This is Ben from Team SP here at Parallel Worlds Game Shop. I'm going to do Dragonic Overlord the End deck profile for you all. This is a staple, it's a given. Lizard Soldier Conroe. When another Kagero rides this unit, you may call it to rear guard. Its effect is an act effect, it's counterblast 1, and retire this unit. Then you may search your deck for a grade 1 or less Kagero unit and reveal it to your opponent and put it into your hand. So it's really good for getting this card early game. Airmo. Airmo's effect is if the attack hits, drop a card, draw a card. It helps you get to the end faster, helps you kind of sort through your deck a bit as well. Or if I already have an Airmo or a bar in my hand, a lot of times I'll just go straight for a perfect guard. Have something in my hand for later on. Grade 1s consist of 2 Airmos. It's about all I need. If I accidentally damage check one, I know I have another that I can search my deck for to get Conroe. 2, it increases the chance that I can just draw into him, and that way I won't even have to use Conroe's effect. Pretty self-explanatory. 4 bar, put this thing behind Overlord the End. If he's got Overlord in the Soul, this is a 21k column. Put it behind Burning Horn, you've got a 20k column. Two Heat Nails. For some, maybe this might be a debatable card. It just puts on pressure. It can force your opponent to guard when otherwise they would have taken the damage. Force cards out of their hand, because its effect is when this unit boosts an attack, when the attack hits the Vanguard that this unit boosted, you may put this card back into your deck and choose one of your opponent's grade 1 rear guards and retire them. And you can pretty much just sack the card that's boosting the Vanguard with his effect. And then, if Heat Nail's not successful, I have Kimnaras. 2 of them, because I normally draw into them, or of course you can use Conroe's effect to get it. You don't really have to stack up on grade 1s in this deck. His is Counterblast 1, move this unit to your soul, and choose one of your opponent's grade 1 rear guards and retire it.
Is that all your grade 1s?
That's all my grade 1s.
So how many do you run?
Let's see here. 4
Just to let people know.
perfect guards. Two Heat Nails. 2 Kimnaras. 4 bars. 2 Airmos. Making for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 grade 1s.
It's pretty stable.
Then for grade 2s, 3 Velocity Dragons. I'll find myself in many situations where I'll ride this card, I'll use Conroe's effect, then since he's my Vanguard, early game most people will just take the damage. 2 effects will go off that turn. I'll have Airmo in the rear, I'll have him on Vanguard. I'll unflip the damage that I just used for Conroe's effect, and then I'll get to drop a card and draw a card with Airmo. So 2 effects go off in 1 turn. That's why I like to ride him on Vanguard. And I'm not too concerned that the fact that he's a 9k, and yeah. Four Nahalem, 2 regular art, 2 alternate arts, just for fun. Put a bar behind them. They're hitting for perfect numbers. They're hitting for 18. Put a Heat Nail or a Kimnara or a Airmo behind them, hitting for 16. That's still good on Vanguards that aren't cross rides. And then this card is very good in this deck. Its effect is when this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Overlord in its card name, this unit gets plus 3,000 until the end of that battle. that's great because that's all you're going to be running for your grade 3s is Overlord and the End. 6k booster behind it, 18, 8k, swinging for 20. Perfect numbers there. Grade 2s, running a total of 11.
Real quick before you go on, you know I can edit, right? So if you like at any point feel like you screwed up, you can just stop for a few seconds, give me like leeway time to be able to edit, and then move on.
Okay. And now the part you all have been waiting for. Grade 3s. I run 4 Dragonic Overlords. It doesn't matter what art you use. I pulled 2 of these and bought the other 2. So I was just kind of OCD. I wanted them to all be the triple rare version, not the trial deck version. His effect is Counterblast 3, and until the end of turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power and gets auto. It's a Vanguard or Rearguard effect when this unit attacks. When this unit attack hits an opponent's rearguard, stay in this unit. And if it's on the Vanguard, it loses Twin Drive the moment you activate that skill. It's honestly way better on rearguard. What I'll do is I'll have it on rearguard, and I'll attack with my Vanguard first, and then I'll apply triggers over here to Dragonic Overlord, so then I can just take out their rear guards with extra power. A lot of times people will activate the fact and attack with Overlord first. I normally try and get some triggers to put on him first. And if you have a bar behind him, I mean, he's going to be 24 after you've counterblasted because of the power increase. You get 2 triggers. The opponent perfect guards against your Vanguard. You get 2 triggers. Place it here. I mean, that's 34 at the rear guard. Again, and then it's just going to be -8.
It's very consistent.
It's very consistent.
Yeah. Because a lot of times they won't block it at all.
Mm-hmm. And then the main star of the deck. 4 Dragonic Overlord the Ends. That's a must. There is no way you could run any less than 4. He's a Persona Blast. With his effect, when he is on top of when he rides on top of Dragonic Overlord and you have Overlord in your soul, he gets a continuous plus 2,000. So he's 13 on his own both ways when he attacks and defends. His effect is, when his attack hits, you may counterblast 2, drop a copy of the End from your hand into your discard pile, and you may stand him again. He does not lose Twin Drive, and he'll keep all the effects from your previous drive trigger check. Onto the trigger lineup. Two Monicas. And 4 Gatling Claws. So 6 draw triggers altogether. Gatling Claws effect is you can counterblast 1, put him to the soul, and retire 1 of your opponent's grade 0s. Great against Wingull Brave, great against another Conroe, great against Go Yusha.
And a lot of people don't run 6 draws, so if you want to explain that.
True. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll run 8 crit, 4 draw. Reason I have 6 is one of my favorite things in Vanguard is to have a bigger hand than my opponent. And that's what it helps with. Honestly, you really could get by with just 4 draws, because this isn't like Blau Kluger where you have to drop 2 cards from your hand. You just have to drop 1 copy of the End, and you don't lose Twin Drive. So hand size really is not going to be a problem with this deck, so you could get away with 4 draws. Like I said, I still just prefer the hand size. When Dauntless Drive Dragon comes out, you have to sack 3 cards from your hand. So those of you out there who are running the End or want to, and you're only running 4 draws, and you're going to eventually upgrade to Dauntless, I would strongly suggest moving up to 6 draws, because you have to sack 3 cards from your hand for Dauntless's effect.
And that card's going to be OP.
Very. And then for the crits, 6 crits, 3 embodiment of Spear Tars, 3 Blu-ray Draco kits, just so I have an even amount of each. And I like both arts, and they get the job done. Staple, 4 heals. The best booster for the end is Bar. But let's say you have Overlord on Vanguard, and you may only have 1 copy of the end in your hand or none. Ammo is really good to have in early to mid game, and then as soon as you ride the end, and whether you have a copy of him in your hand or not, you should probably swap out for Bar, because then that way you need to start pushing for higher numbers, because you need to start pushing for game, because this is now a 21k column when it attacks. So a perfect field late game would be to, of course, have the end in your hand, end on Vanguard with Overlord in the soul, Bar in the rear guard, and then depending on how much damage you have, this could affect the outcome. Pretty much if you have just a full field of unflipped damage, which that can happen, it's always good, especially if you're pressing for game. Use Dragonic Overlord's effect, Counterblast 3, that way you keep 2 open for the end. Perhaps attack a rear guard, drive check, Persona Blast, Counterblast 2 damage, stand him again, go for it again, any triggers that you get, place him here, start taking out their rear guards, go for their Vanguard finally, and then of course you have an extra 20k column right here. Another good column would just to be Burning Horns all around. Especially if you've already done Counterblast earlier for Conroe or for Kimnara, and you may only have 2 left, and Overlord's ability is rather costly, then you just basically have a perfect row. You got another copy of the end in hand, and you've got just straight power on either side.
So you're basically swinging for maximum damage with that.
And that's pretty much my deck profile.
Thanks for watching.